And the Oscar goes to Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant. Hey guys, and welcome to this clay tutorial. Let's clay Leonardo DiCaprio as Hugh Glass in the movie The Revenant. I have seen the movie a few days ago, and for those of you who don't know the movie, it's a survival western thriller, something like that. It's a mixture. And I was pretty amazed by the atmosphere and by the acting skills of Leonardo DiCaprio and of course of the other actors. Before I tell something about the plot, let's focus on the figure we are creating. The head is, as always, the most tricky part, and I really did my best to get Leonardo's face into clay. But it was so difficult. Let me know what you think of the final version. I found a movie poster and there the Revenant is screaming like hell, and I tried to get that into clay. I'm making or spending a lot of time and details on the mouth, the open mouth, teeth, and the tongue is also very important for that part. Well, of course, later we will add a very full, strong beard to this face, but the teeth and tongue will be seen anyway. I'm not sure about the teeth color. I think we could have done it a bit darker, a bit more dirty, and not brushed with a toothbrush. Well, the eyes are very important, especially to this minifigure, as it has to give the expression of anger, a bit fear, something like that. Make sure to create a base layer for the beard and the face. We will add something special as beard, but it's important that you mark the position and get the right shape of it. I think the plot is explained very quickly. It's all about, well, it's set in 1823 and a crew of settlers or trappers are hunting for pels in the northern wilderness of the States. And suddenly, when they are hunting in the forest, they are attacked by a group of Native Americans who of course also want to get one of the pels. A lot of the settlers are slaughtered down and the survivors flee on a boat. There's a river. And well, there's one tricky part. One of the settlers, it's Hugh Glass, he once had a relationship to one of the Native Americans, and this relationship culminated in a child, in a son they are having together. Here you can see the technique I'm using for the hair, and it works very well as the character has very wet or maybe oily hair. We will add transparent polish at the end when we are done, and it will look amazing. While I'm still preparing the hair, let's go back to the storyline. Well, all of the settlers see the Native Americans as enemies per se. This brings the conflict potential as they are projecting all their fears and aggressions right on to Hugh Glass' son. Particularly, it's John Fitzgerald. One thing leads to another, and this is no spoiler as it can be seen in the trailer. The son is killed, and Hugh Glass is also buried alive. Well, I forgot to tell that he was attacked and badly injured by a bear. And well, after he had been buried alive, he crawls out of his grave and wants to take revenge for Fitzgerald killing his son. This technique is new for me. I'm using an old shirt of mine and well, I make it a bit dirty with black clay, as you can see. And after that we will add it to our superhero Hugh Glass. This is the first time I'm working with a completely wired skeleton for a clay figure, and it worked very well. I think I will do that in the future for each of my creations. What about the storyline? I think I should end here, as I don't want to spoiler. Go to the movies, this one is really amazing. If you like that kind of dark atmosphere thriller. I know I did a lot of different techniques for creating hands. This one worked the best for me, so cutting right out of one piece. There are techniques where you add the thumb after creating the other part, but I don't like that one, as you always have to make sure that you don't see any kind of fugues at the thumb. This is a real vicious circle. We did a very photorealistic head, and so we also have to make sure that the hands are also very photorealistic. As model, use your own hand and compare where the lines are. Let's prepare the leather parts of the trousers. I'm using a mixture of brown to make it a bit dirty looking. Fits perfectly into that movie. Everything is dirty and wet looking. I haven't found any picture of shoes Glass is wearing, so I decided to make, and I don't know how they are called, the leather wrap shoe. Just take some stripes of leather or clay and wrap it around the foot. We will use some rope to fix that, and for a real nice look as well. As the lower part of the body is almost finished, we will focus on the torso and the arms and add the hands to the figure. Glass is holding a gun in his right hand, so just make it a bit open. For the sleeve I also use some used shirt piece of mine. I'm fixing that with some glue. Ooh, Leonardo would be so proud of us. We are hunting for more leather pieces for his clothes. This time we take two different colors and attach them to each other, so we get a darker outside and a brighter inside of the leather. It looks very realistic. While we're getting Leo dressed, we can talk about the biggest movie with himself. I'm always thinking of Titanic, of course, one of the first movies I've seen with a girlfriend next to mine in the cinema. Then there is Catch Me If You Can. Big movie, was always a fan of that one, because it's so funny, it has a great storyline, and you always want to know what is happening next. What is Leo doing and whom is he tricking? A few years ago there was The Departed, was a big fan of that. And I think last year there was The Wolf of Wall Street. Is it only me, or is Leo always looking for movies which starts with The Beach, another movie I can remember. I remember one of the accessoires Leo is wearing in the Revenant. It's a necklace. It's a horn, hair, claw, something like that. I'm using a cheap fashion necklace I bought in the shopping mall. What does he else need? Of course, there is his knife he's fighting with against the bear. By the way, I felt very sorry for the bear, as it had tiny little baby bear children. And now they don't have any mommy. While I'm still crying, his pistol is almost finished. And after that we will focus on the real weapons, his big gun. We want to get the gun very straight, and for that we use aluminum wire. Take some silver shining clay and put the wire into it. And after that we have to add some brown clay for the handle. I recognized that right under the pipe where the bullet comes out, there's another pipe. I don't know what that is for. I'm guessing it has to do with the loading mechanism, something like that. Now we are done with the equipment of Mr. Glass. For attaching them to the body, we create black belts. The first one comes right around his belly. Just work on some details. That looks nice. More black clay for belt number 2 and 3, and they are for hanging everything onto the shoulder. I almost forgot to make his tiny little bag. I'm still wondering what this talisman is supposed to be. Is it a claw? The pistol is right in position to shoot the next bear family. Happy bear family. You're creating piece by piece, and once you're done you attach everything together, and this is so great when you realize, it really fits together perfectly. And now we put the head in position. Prepare everything for baking in the oven. Leather only looks real if there are some folds and wrinkles. I tried to figure out a cool way to get the gun in position. And so I built a tiny stand to support the gun. Some more folds on the leather, and it also lets look it very old and used. Just some more leather pieces to protect Leo's private parts. We are adding some more hair, darker hair. Work on the pelt. And we are ready to go into the oven. Whoa, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. Freshly baked. We use some sandpaper to make the clothes look even more rough than it already looks. Rough and used. And now we get to the secret part of this tutorial. How to make a very cool looking beard. A manly looking beard. I use some wool and color it with a pen, a gray pen. After that I dip everything into brown color and we get a real nice beard hair color. Here you can see the difference to the original wool. Put some glue onto the base layer of your beard and attach the wool to it. After that, take some scissors and start cutting. Be very careful while cutting, otherwise Leo won't come back to you for hair cutting. For the finish we use transparent polish for the hair. Oh, they look so oily and dirty and sweaty. This is a premiere. For the first time I'm using color for my clay figures, as this one really has to be, you know it, dirty. Use maybe some red color for some scratches and wounds in the face, in the hand. Maybe he killed another bear baby before. And we are done! Well, almost, cause Leo decided to win the Oscar last night. And so I decided to prepare a tiny Oscar for him to celebrate his achievement. He really was nominated for the 6th time. Just imagine he would not have won this Oscar. And now we are done. I had so much fun creating the Revenant Leonardo DiCaprio. You made it 17 minutes through this tutorial. Thanks. I really hope you liked it. Leave some comments, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these movie characters. I think it has been the most detailed figure so far. Goodbye!